Should you be allowed to own your own house? Welcome aboard.
No, absolutely not. You should never be allowed to own your own property, own your own house. You should live for the collective.
Oh, absolutely. You know, for each according to their abilities, according to their needs.
I'm a meat popsicle. I should get everything for free and I'll just look pretty.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I think the government knows what's best for me, especially a distant bureaucrat.
Absolutely.
Now, I know we're going to get some people put comments down below. Watch, they didn't listen to the 40 seconds of us being completely sarcastic. Do you remember the Sweeney?
Oh, the Sweeney, yeah, the Nazi jeans thing.
Oh, yeah, and we were sarcastic.
Oh,
and people were slammed us for that to the point we had to make a quick, hey, no, we were being sarcastic.
Oh no, I thought that was great because we got out there ahead of everybody else and did it, and then it actually made one of the top stories of the year thing on Fox News. I was like, that is awesome. We aren't idiots.
Well, let's look at Mamdani. And what's funny is when I went to vote in the last election, there was election a couple of months ago, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, yeah, he's a socialist. He's a communist. And the lady at the voting place said, no, he's a democratic socialist. It's like, what? You put the word democratic in front?
Doesn't that just mean mob rule?
Yeah. Instead of the government just taking my stuff away because you put people in power to do that, you voted those people in power to do that. By the way, how did Hitler get in power? He was elected by the left.
That's true.
All right. Okay. So this is C. Weaver. She was appointed by Mamdani, the new socialist communist mayor of New York, who says he's not a communist, he's a democratic socialist. Not much difference, to be in charge of rent and rent control and housing and things like this. Now, this is an old video of her that came out 4 years ago. Okay, it's 4 years ago. All right. She's 37 now, so just doing a little math, she was 33. So she wasn't just a teenager.
And to be fair, you can change your mind in 4 years.
You can.
I think she doubles down here, but she changed. You could change your mind. She could have said, that was 4 years ago. I don't really feel that way now.
She's trying to say that now, but there's some other things that have come out that, All right, yeah. So here's the actual video of what she said.
That for centuries we've really treated property as an individualized good and not a collective good, and we are going to transitioning to treating it as a collective good and towards a model of shared equity will require that we think about it differently, and it will mean that families, especially white families, but some POC families who are homeowners as well, are going to have a different relationship to property than the one that we currently have.
So I'm going to go on a record and say I'm a white guy who owns my house. Now, granted, it's one of the cheaper houses in the neighborhood I live in, but I'm not allowed to own it anymore?
No, it needs to be part of the collective. Housing is for the collective good. Now, who gets to decide who gets that good of the collective? Well, that would need to be a third party, because you would be selfish saying, well, this is my house. And no, it's not. It's the house of the collective. And it doesn't matter how much of your money you put into it or how much investment or time or upkeep you put into it. It is the collective's property, not your property.
So I'm going to go on a limb here and say I've got an extra bedroom.
Okay.
Are we saying that the town I live in is going to pay me for that extra bedroom and they're going to put somebody in it and they're going to help pay my mortgage?
That's a great question.
Or could I skip the middleman, and if I felt like I needed to, I could then rent out that extra bedroom?
No. You couldn't do that. I mean, going along
and use that money towards my mortgage.
Going along. Oh, no, it's not your mortgage. Oh, there's a
thank God, it's not my mortgage. Who's going to pick up the tab on that sucker?
There is another video out there of her saying this is how it's going to work. 30% of your income will be taken to go pay for the housing. So let's say you're making $90,000. You would have to pay, or $100,000. Let's make the math easy.
Make the math easy.
$30,000 of your income would go to pay for the house.
Is that the house I live in currently, or do they have to choose the house for me?
It's the collective house. You know, but that's the question. Who decides what your need is? You know, you're almost going to be an empty nest and you've got several rooms in your house.
Yeah.
Really, maybe you and your wife
could give up that house and I should live in a one-bedroom condo.
You and your spouse should just be in a one-bedroom condo. That's all you need. Now, me, I have kids. I need these extra rooms, but as soon as one gets old enough to move out, and she's getting older now, when that time comes, maybe I need to downgrade. But here's
to be fair, she's in high school, so you've got another 20 years before she moves out of the house.
Oh, God. A curse be upon you. But no, I love my kid dearly, but at a certain point, you need to be an adult and be on your
33, apparently.
But here's the thing. If she even said in this other video, if you don't have income, you don't pay rent. You don't pay mortgage. So who is going to, so at that point, why should I work?
I was just thinking I could quit my job.
What would we do all day? Oh, we could do this.
Yeah, we could do this.
We're not getting money off of this.
Well, these are public service announcements.
You know how we could get money for this? If people liked, subscribed, and commented below, it would help out the algorithm.
We could make millions being influencers on YouTube, and we would put our collective millions back into the pot.
No, we wouldn't. I would keep it. We are not giving a dime back. It's my money. Show me the money. No, you're not.
Oh, all right.
See,
you're just an evil capitalist.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Capitalism is the worst system ever devised by humans, except for everything else that's been tried.
Well, no, I mean, capitalism isn't the worst system ever devised by humans. It's just the worst system for lazy humans.
Yes.
I mean, if you have no hustle, of course you don't want capitalism.
Well, communism sounds great on paper, but we're the wrong species for it. Okay?
Yeah,
now, when you're in a group of 30 to 40 and you're in survival mode, the collective works pretty well. But when you're in large groups...
Have you read Lord of the Flies?
Well, no. Let me explain something here. Your family, your wife, your spouse, whoever you are, and your kids, you or anybody else, that is a socialist utopia. I take money...
Swiss Family Robinson.
I'm giving it to my kids. I'm spending my hard-earned money for the collective good of my family. Now, we also have the neighborhood. My neighbors, maybe the church you go to. I'm going to take some of my individual money. I'm going to help them out a little bit. But for the people outside of that very tight-knit family or my social group of friends, like if you needed help, I'd help you out because you're my friend. But outside of that, if I don't know you,
hey, Seth.
You ain't getting squat. Okay, all right. I do charity. I do charity, but
Seth.
For the most part, I'm keeping it local.
Can you lend me 70% for my mortgage?
No, but it won't cost 70%. It'll be 30%.
Well, somebody's got to make up that other 70.
By the way, I really love this. This is where this girl grew up. It's her parents who own a $1.6 million house in Tennessee. So
Well, I think they ought to give up their house because I bet they don't need that big a house.
Well, no. Well, apparently the kids are probably all grown up. She is in a house. So put your money where your mouth is. Your parents need to give up that house for the collective. You should be out there saying, Mom and Dad, I hate what you're doing. You need to leave the house right now. I will make sure it goes to the collective. But,
Absolutely.
Rules for thee, not for me. It's amazing how leadership, like Bernie Sanders, all these socialists,
they all have expensive homes.
Yeah. Bernie has 3.
Yeah.
He has 3 houses that are about $1 million, probably more now.
Well, yeah. I mean,
just so you know, this is the house.
That's a $1.6 million home?
That is a $1.6 million house in Tennessee. It is 3,400 square feet, so it's double the size of my house. And you also have to consider the neighborhood. I mean, really, if you're living next to me, you are not in the rich neighborhood.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't say where in Tennessee.
It does not say where with a quick look. And this is when she got confronted. She got confronted with, I don't know, facts. And she started crying. It wasn't right here, but she started crying in another scene where the news came up to her and started asking her questions. So it's really amazing to me how hypocritical these extreme leftists are.
You can't get all of these young, I dare say millennial, but I think she looks even young for a millennial. You can't start telling all these people that they have to honor facts and that they have to, do their thing. You can't do that to them. I mean, that's just mean.
Well, this is her trying to make sense of it all. This is recent. I don't know how many days ago. 2 days ago.
Okay.
This was posted, so I don't know exactly. Here we go.
Eric Adams said that you were, quote, out of your effing mind. That was in response to a resurfaced tweet from way back when, something you'd said on Twitter about home ownership being a tool of white supremacy. I wanted to give you a chance to respond. You're not.
It's always the white supremacy with these people. The white, guilty, leftist liberal who has so much white guilt because apparently she has this magical white privilege is blaming white whatever, which doesn't exist.
Where my white privilege card is in the mail. I'm so sick and tired of that. When I went for my master's degree, I had to hear about, I'm in a very white privilege type school, and I had to hear about white privilege and how horrible it was. And when I confronted the professor and said, I lower middle class my whole life, worked 3 jobs, never got even a Pell Grant, never got anything to help with school, put myself through both bachelor's degrees. I'm paying for this master's degree. I'm paying for all this stuff out of my own pocket. I clawed myself from the bottom. I drove 20-year-old cars to get myself to school, drove 1,000 miles a week to go to school while I worked extra. All these things. And where is my white privilege?
Well, my favorite thing is one of the highest income earner groups in this country. Mm-hmm. It's people from India. They're not Caucasian. People from Nigeria, they dang well are not Caucasian. Mm-hmm. People from Southeast Asia, come on, Asians, you go to UCLA. We are they're the majority, and that's okay.
No, I don't care about that.
Well, let's see what she has to say.
Not out of your mind, right?
I don't think I'm out of my mind. I think that some of those things are certainly not.
Can we turn it down a little? It's loud.
Yeah.
How I would say things today and are regretful. But I do think my sort of decades of experience fighting for more affordable housing sort of stands on its own.
She's like 30
in this role.
She's 37. Let's say she went to college. She gets out at 22. Her decades of experience is 15 years.
One decade.
One and a half decades. Let's be fair. Tops.
I just okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
And does she own a home?
I don't think so.
No, she rents. So what's her decades of experience of owning property?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Meshuggah.
Sorry.
All these people are Meshuggah.
There you go.
Fighting for stronger tenants' rights. And I think that for many years, people have been locked out of the property market. That has produced a lot of systemic and racial inequalities in our system. And I want to make sure that everybody has a safe and affordable place to live, whether they rent or own. And that is something that I'm laser focused on in this new role.
Notice she doesn't take back anything she said. She hasn't said, oh, we need to have the collective. That idea needs to go. She doesn't deny the collective. It's just, I'm concerned about people's rents, which is fine.
Well, I will say this, because I don't know this is all third-hand as far as this goes, but I will say, from what I understand, there are some large corporations in New York that basically run slums. And they're kind of getting away with murder. Mm-hmm. So
which I agree
she wants to tackle that.
I agree with that.
Absolutely.
We have some common ground with the communists. Absolutely.
There needs to be an expectation of sanity and sanitization. But I don't really see that's where she wants to take it.
Do you know how you could easily lower the cost of living in New York? Well, one, the demand is down because Mamdani has already chased people out.
I was going to say,
But
you elect a democratic socialist and then you run it into the ground, no one wants to live there, the rent will automatically go down.
Yeah. And the other thing is you need more supply, which is the other half of supply and demand. They're two separate things. Most people think they are together. No, they're two separate things. Let these people tear down these slums, build new apartments, build new places for people to live. And at some point, people are going to say, okay, you might have to make more skyscrapers to make more housing affordable or whatever. And I get that New York City is running out of land. Well, I get it because you filled it up. But
there are office buildings, massive amounts of office buildings that are sitting empty.
Convert those to condos.
London and in those areas like London and Paris and that, they are converting those types of office buildings into properties for rentals and whatnot. And I don't see why we couldn't be doing that here.
Well, one thing that gets me, and this is probably, I'm hoping I get some comments about this. You always hear these socialists and communists turn around and say, well, they have it in the Netherlands. They have socialism works great there. Show me where socialism works. And by the way, in the Netherlands, they don't have a socialist system. They have a capitalist system. And in many ways, they have far fewer regulations than we do, but they pay 60 to 85% in taxes.
Yes.
So, I mean, literally they're paying out the nose in taxes. They do not have immigration. You have a very homogenous society, and it's very condensed. So it's a completely different situation than here. And, by the way, the socialist system of healthcare and stuff in those countries is falling apart.
Well, that's the thing I was going to say is a lot of these countries that we're talking about, like Germany and France and all that, yes, they do have a version of socialism in the sense that they have socialized healthcare. They have some, I don't know, would you call it almost a unionized approach to labor for on a government scale? But largely, it is capitalism that's holding all that together. And also, when you talked about these little countries, they depend on the European Union. And they depend on the fact that you can't just go straight into the Netherlands to immigrate there. You've kind of got to go through these checks and balances through the European Union. And so they do kind of get to be a little bit more laxed on their immigration policy. You don't even really, you can cross borders there like crazy, but it's a little different than it is here in the United States. And when you talk to people from the Netherlands, from Germany, from France, they would much rather prefer our version of government over theirs. Is theirs running fairly smooth? Well, they've had a bunch of centuries to kind of get it going. I mean, think of the French Revolution, think of the Middle Ages. Think of, and you're a history guy, so you'd know there was a major war that had to do with Netherlands and Sweden and all that. I can't remember the name of it. Yeah. But they've had time. We're only in year 250. 50. Thank you.
250.
I should know that because I was born in 76.
Well, what's your final thought on her idea of the collective, which she has not denied here?
I think it's a bad idea, but I'm always for if you are truly indigent, and I always say that wrong, indigent, then yes, there should be some sort of help for you.
Yeah, a safety net for those at the very, very, very bottom, or those who are truly incapable of taking care of themselves.
Yes.
But if you can get up and work,
absolutely, you need to get your butt up and work and make your own rent.
And what the current administration is doing is saying you need to work 20 hours, go out, and you'll get all these goodies. You know who else kind of said you work for welfare? I can't remember the exact phrase they used, but they had if you want welfare, you do have to work. Democrat Bill Clinton.
Yeah, now that I think about it, isn't he the one that said that you had to put in so many years,
so many hours
to keep it? And that, yeah, absolutely, that was Clinton. Yeah, and with that, I guess we'll see you at the next stop.
Oh no, it's not your mortgage. Oh, there's a
thank God, it's not my mortgage. Who's going to pick up the tab on that sucker?